Okay, so she's gone. I mean, not like gone, gone, but gone from my life. And the silence is God, it's so loud, you know? It's in my apartment, the way the floorboards creak without her laugh to cover it up. It's in my phone, this dead weight in my pocket that doesn't buzz with her stupid memes anymore. It's just this deafening hollow space where Surrey used to be. And the worst part, the absolute gut-wrenching worst part, is that I know it's my fault. I do. But I can't connect the dots in a way that makes sense. It's like I'm watching a movie of my own life and I'm screaming at the girl on the screen, like, what are you doing? For the love of God, just stop talking. But she doesn't listen. And then the credits roll and I'm just sitting here in the dark with this sick feeling in my stomach. How did it get here? Was it that thing I said last month, the fight from 2 weeks ago? It has to be bigger than that, right? It feels bigger. This was the person who held my hand when my dad didn't show up for my graduation, who whispered, I'm prouder of you than he ever deserved to be. The one who knew, without me saying a word, that a bad day meant I needed cheap pizza and a stupidly expensive pint of mint chocolate chip ice cream. She wasn't just my best friend, she was like my anchor, my family. Honestly, she was the one who would call my mom on her birthday for me just to make sure the peace was kept. I guess it all comes back to the same old crap, right? The stuff you pay a therapist $100 an hour to nod along to. You learn early on that people just leave, it's a fact. They get busy, they forget, they find something shinier. It's this cold pit in my stomach, the same one I got when I'd wait by the window for my parents' car and the streetlights would come on, and I just knew they weren't coming home for a long, long time. I just swore I wouldn't let it happen with Surrey. I was going to be ready for it. I was so busy looking for the signs, watching for the exit door, I never realized I was the one building it. It started small, honestly so small I didn't even realize I was doing it at first. It was more of a feeling, you know, a little flicker of doubt in my gut. Like I'd see a text from her pop up on my screen, something funny, a picture of her dumb cat, and my thumb would hover over the keyboard. The normal part of my brain wanted to text back immediately. But then this other voice, this cold, quiet voice would whisper, just wait, let's just see, so I would. I'd put the phone down, face down, and my heart would start hammering. An hour would go by, then two, and this sick game would start in my head, she's forgotten. She's out with someone else, someone more fun, and she's already forgotten she even texted you. And just when the panic was about to, like, totally take over, my phone would ring, and it would be her. Hey, you okay? You didn't answer, I just got worried. And the relief, God, it was like a drug. But it was immediately followed by something else. Suspicion, I'd be all casual, oh, sorry, just got busy with work, but in my head I was taking notes. Okay, it took her 2 hours and 15 minutes to worry. Check, she passed. This time, can you believe that? How messed up is that? Then it moved on to other things. She'd be raving about some new indie movie she saw, her eyes all lit up, and she'd be like, Ria, we have to go see it together, you would love it. And instead of getting excited with her, I'd just shrug. I saw the trailer, looked kinda pretentious, honestly. And I'd watch that little light in her eyes dim just for a second. And Surrey, because she's Surrey, or she'd immediately backtrack. Oh yeah, I mean, I can see that. The third act was a little weak for sure. She was always doing that. Smoothing things over. She was the official maintainer of our friendship, constantly patching up these tiny little holes I was poking in it. And did I feel safe? Did I feel grateful? No. I felt validated, see? That little voice would say, she'll just say whatever she thinks you want to hear. What else is she not being honest about? She was working so hard, you get it, right? She was working so hard to keep us afloat, and I was the one standing there, drilling holes in the bottom of the boat just to see if she'd notice we were sinking. And every time she started bailing water with a smile, I didn't think, wow, she really loves me. I thought, she's getting good at this, I need a bigger drill. The tests got meaner. I hate saying that, but they did. The little thought experiments weren't enough anymore. I needed, like, actual data. I started using our friends as pawns in this stupid, twisted game only I was playing. I'd tell Suri something in the strictest confidence, something juicy and maybe a little bit embarrassing about someone we both knew. Okay, you cannot breathe a word of this to anyone, especially not to Jess, but I heard, and then I'd wait. I'd watch her, I'd meet up with Jess a week later, steering the conversation, probing, trying to see if the information had leaked. It never did. Surrey was a vault. But my messed up brain didn't register that as loyalty. It registered it as, okay, she's smart, she knows how to cover her tracks. The real turning point, the moment it went from passive-aggressive to just aggressive, was about her new job. She'd started working at this cool marketing firm and she was so excited. There was this one guy there, David, who she mentioned a few times. He was helping her learn the ropes, they'd grab lunch sometimes. totally innocent, but that little voice in my head, it went into overdrive. David, who's David? Why is she always talking about David? He's replacing you. So I did something I'm so ashamed of now, I can barely even say it out loud. I made something up. I saw a picture of him on her social media, tagged in a group photo, and I just invented a narrative. I went to her for our weekly wine night, my face all serious and concerned. Suri, I have to tell you something, and it's really hard, but I heard from a friend of a friend who knows him that David is kind of a snake. He apparently takes credit for other people's work, especially women. I don't want you to get hurt. I watched her face fall, the excitement she had about her new job just deflated, but she didn't react the way I expected. The script in my head said she'd be like, "Oh my god, thank you for telling me, I'm cutting him off immediately." That would have been the right answer. That would have proved her loyalty to me over some new work friend, but Suri, ever the reasonable, level-headed one, just looked thoughtful. "Wow," she said slowly. "That's really disappointing to hear. He's been so helpful. Are you sure your source is reliable? I mean, it just seems so out of character." And I just snapped. I mean, full-on, irrational anger. "Are you serious right now?" I said, my voice getting way too loud. "I'm telling you this to protect you and you're defending him, you're questioning me? Wow. I see how it is. You've known this guy for 5 minutes and you're already taking his side over mine." It was a full-blown attack. I was weaponizing my supposed concern. And for the first time, I didn't see confusion or a desire to fix things in her eyes. I saw real hurt and a little flicker of something else. Fear, not of David, of me. The final nail in the coffin. God, it's like a car crash I can't stop replaying in slow motion, frame by agonizing frame. Suri got a promotion. Not just any promotion, but like a life-changing, get the hell out of this town one. A 6-month leadership training program in Chicago, all expenses paid. A huge step up the ladder. When she told me over the phone, her voice was practically vibrating with excitement. "Ria, you're not going to believe this," she'd shrieked, and me. All I heard was the roar of a jet engine, a deafening sound that drowned out her happiness and just screamed one word: goodbye, 6 months, an entire new city. An entire new life, filled with new people, new inside jokes, new favorite coffee shops. A whole world built without me. It was the ultimate abandonment, you know. The thing I'd been predicting all along, the catastrophe I'd been preparing for. It wasn't a test I'd created. It was the universe finally confirming my deepest, ugliest fear. I was going to be left behind, my brain just short-circuited. I couldn't see her joy. I couldn't feel an ounce of pride for her. All I could feel was this cold, terrifying dread that wrapped around my lungs and squeezed. She was leaving. It was really happening. Her work friends organized a big farewell party for her at this trendy downtown bar, the kind of place with exposed brick and cocktails that cost $20. I spent the whole week before it in a fog of anxiety and resentment. I bought a new dress and then stared at it hanging on my door, hating it. I replayed every conversation we'd had for the past year, looking for clues I'd missed. I showed up late, already 3 glasses of wine deep from my pre-gaming session at home, and just stood in the corner watching her. She was glowing, absolutely radiant. She was wearing this bright yellow dress, and she looked like actual sunshine. Everyone was orbiting her, laughing, hugging her, telling her how amazing she was. And every laugh, every toast felt like a personal insult. "Look at them," the voice sneered. "They're all so happy she's getting away from you, they all know." Then came the speeches. People were sharing funny anecdotes, sweet memories. Her boss said a few words about what a rising star she was, and then Jess, our mutual friend, got the microphone. After a teary tribute, she looked over at me. "Ria, you have to say something, you're the best friend, the other half." And I did, I said something. I stood up a little unsteady and the whole room went quiet, turning to me with these big, warm, expectant smiles. I walked to the front, took the microphone, and looked right at Suri, right into her smiling, hopeful face. And I just detonated. "Wow," I started, my voice dripping with a sarcasm that felt like acid in my own mouth. "To Suri, to our girl who's finally getting what she's always wanted, an escape plan." A few nervous laughs rippled through the crowd, the sound dying instantly. Suri's smile faltered, replaced by a tiny, confused frown. "I mean, we should have all seen it coming, right?" I continued, the words tumbling out, unstoppable and venomous. "All those late nights at the office? I thought it was for the job, but really it was just practice for a different time zone. Remember all those times you said you needed more space to figure things out?" I made air quotes with my fingers. "I guess 1,000 miles ought to do it." I was twisting everything, every inside joke, every vulnerable confession we'd ever shared, and turning it into a weapon. I brought up a time she'd cried to me about feeling stuck in her old job, and reframed it as her feeling stuck with me. I took her dreams and painted them as a meticulously planned betrayal. She's a master planner, our Suri. Don't let that sweet face fool you. She's been paving this runway for years. The silence in that room was absolute, it was a physical thing. I could feel it pressing in on my ears, a thick, suffocating blanket of horror. No one was breathing. And Suri, her face, it just went blank. The shock, the hurt, the confusion, it all just washed away in a wave and left nothing. Just a void. She looked at me like I was a complete stranger, a dangerous one. And in that moment, under the awful fluorescent lights of that stupid bar, I knew. I had finally, definitively proven myself right. I had worked so hard to create a monster, and I had finally succeeded. The party ended, or rather, it just dissolved. People mumbled excuses and slipped away, unable to look at me, unable to look at Suri. I was left standing there, the microphone still heavy in my hand, in a room that suddenly felt vast and cold. Suri didn't scream at me, she didn't cry, she didn't even say a word. She just picked up her purse, walked out the door, and vanished. Just like that, she was gone. The next day, I woke up to the hangover from hell and a reality that was a million times worse. I texted her, I am so sorry. I was drunk and stupid, please call me. No reply, I called, it went straight to voicemail. I tried again an hour later, straight to voicemail. By the end of the day, I realized what had happened. She hadn't just silenced my number. She had blocked me on everything. It was a digital amputation, clean, swift, and brutal. I spent a week in a state of pure primal panic. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I just paced my apartment, replaying that speech over and over, my own words echoing in my ears like a curse. Finally, in a fit of desperation, I did the one thing I knew I shouldn't. I called her mom. I was sobbing, incoherent, begging. I think more than anything, her mom was just exhausted by the drama. She agreed to pass on a message, and a day later, I got a text from an unknown number. The coffee shop on Miller, tomorrow at 10, that's all you get. I showed up an hour early. I had rehearsed my apology 100 times. It was perfect, it was heartfelt. It explained everything, my childhood, my fear of abandonment, the way my brain twists things. It was the kind of apology that could fix anything, or so I thought. She walked in right at 10. She looked tired. The glow from the party was gone, replaced by dark circles under her eyes. She sat down and just looked at me, her hands folded on the table, and waited. I launched into it, I cried, I explained. I laid my soul bare, offering up all my broken pieces as an explanation and excuse. I told her I knew I was messed up, but that I would get help, that I would do anything. I talked for 10 straight minutes, a torrent of regret and promises. When I was done, my voice hoarse, she was quiet for a long time. She just watched me, her expression unreadable. Then she took a slow breath. Ria, she said, and her voice was so calm it terrified me. I hear you, I do, and I forgive you. A wave of relief so powerful it almost made me dizzy washed over me. Oh my God, Suri, thank you, I. No, wait, she said, holding up a hand. Let me finish, I forgive you, I even think I understand why you are the way you are. But understanding it doesn't mean I have to endure it. I cannot have a person in my life who sees me as a test subject. My love for you, my loyalty, it's not something that needs to be constantly proven. It just is, or it was. She looked me straight in the eye. There was no anger there, no hate, just a deep, profound, and unshakable sadness. I cannot go back, she said, I can't. I can't spend my life waiting for the next test, the next accusation. I can't live on that kind of emotional quicksand anymore. So yes, I forgive you. But I can't let you back into my life. I have to protect myself, we're done. And that was it, the final calm no. It wasn't a door slammed in my face. It was a door quietly, firmly, and permanently locked. A few months crawled by. Chicago had swallowed her whole. I'd occasionally hear things through the grapevine. Jess would let a detail slip, probably on purpose, about how well Suri was doing. She was acing the training program. She had a new group of friends. She was exploring the city. She was happy. It was like hearing about someone living a full, vibrant life on another planet. Then one day, I got a call from her mom again. Her voice was gentle, practical. Suri had decided to accept a permanent position in the Chicago office. She wasn't coming back. She asked if I would be willing to help her mom pack up the last of her things from her old apartment. The lease was up. Saying no wasn't an option. It felt like a final penance. So I went. The apartment was already mostly empty, an echo chamber of our friendship. We had painted that living room together, getting more blue on ourselves than on the walls. We'd assembled that stupid IKEA bookshelf, arguing over the instructions for 3 hours. Now it was just a beige box filled with a few remaining cardboard boxes. Her mom directed me to the bedroom closet. Just the things in that back drawer, dear. She said it's just old papers and things, you can just put them in this box. My hands were shaking as I pulled the drawer open. It was full of old notebooks, ticket stubs, photos, and underneath it all, a slim leather-bound journal, her diary. I knew I shouldn't. God, I knew it was the worst, most violating thing I could possibly do. But I was starving for an answer, for some piece of her I could understand. My fingers opened it before my brain could stop them. I flipped to the last few entries, the ones from the week before the party. My eyes scanned the pages, her familiar, looping handwriting a fresh stab to the heart. She wrote about her excitement for Chicago, but it was tangled up with so much worry. Worry about me? October 12th, one entry read. Ria was so strange on the phone today. I told her about the promotion, and there was this long pause. It felt cold. I know she's been struggling lately. I feel so guilty leaving, even for a little while. I just hope she knows this changes nothing between us. How could it? I flipped a page, my breath catching in my throat. October 15th, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells around her. Everything I say, she seems to twist it. It's like she's looking for a reason to be angry with me. It's exhausting. I tried to talk to her about it, but she just shut down. I'm starting to feel so helpless. All I want is for her to see that I'm her biggest fan. Then the last entry, the day of the party, October 18th. Big night, I'm a little nervous, but so excited to see everyone. Especially Ria, I'm hoping we can just have a fun night and reset. I need my best friend back. I hope this move gives us both some space to breathe, and when I come back, things will be better. Stronger, I just really hope she's proud of me tonight, as proud as I've always been of her. I closed the journal. The words were burned into my brain. She hadn't been planning an escape. She'd been holding on, she'd been fighting for us in her own quiet, steady way right up until the very end. She wasn't looking for the exit, she was looking for me. And I, in my blind, stupid panic, had stood up in front of everyone we knew and set our entire world on fire. I hadn't just lost my friend. I had killed the very thing I was terrified of losing.